Okay, we're live again. It's been a while since I did any live show. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm just going to quickly adjust some settings to make sure that my video and audio is clear. And welcome to my show. Oops, I think I might be getting a little bit too loud. Okay, so how is everybody? And welcome to my live stream. Yes, it's been a while, probably about a couple months since I did my last live streaming. And I thought I start streaming today and say hello to everyone. Let's hope that everybody is doing great and all busy making music as well. So we have a couple of people already saying hello. I've got Retro Drum Music from Germany. Welcome. And we also have Johnny. And he says, morning. You're buffering a wee bit, mate. Yeah, I'm not sure what it is. I should have a full stream hardwired connected, but I don't know what it is. I'm just using the YouTube's new live webcam thing. So I normally go through Google Hangouts, but this time I thought I'll try this. So I'm not sure what the buffering is about, but let me have a quick look and see how things are over here. Yeah, it says the stream is bad. That's really odd because I should have a full stream. Yeah. I wonder what it is. Maybe it doesn't like the new app or something is hogging up the network. Well, I hope that gets resolved very soon. I'll keep monitoring that. But let's not make sure that that actually bothers us too much. So we get a lot more things happening. And Maury, also from Thailand, welcome to the chat. Yeah. And Johnny Lipsham says the YouTube camera works okay, but you cannot share screen for demos and playback. Is it 480p after you have been live? All right. Yep. Okay. I didn't have much settings that I needed to do with this one. I thought I'd give it a try, but I'm not planning to actually share anything today. It's going to be a very quick, short Q&A session, which I haven't done for a while. I know on my YouTube channel there has been lots and lots of questions and I've been manually commenting and answering them back. Hopefully it wouldn't matter too much. My voice should be coming nice and clear. Then again, I probably can check that as well. Yeah. Okay, now it says stream is okay. Let's hope it keeps going that way. Maybe doing well. Doing. Oh, here we go. Okay, that could be one of the reasons. Yeah, audio is very good. Thank you, Johnny. Yes, well, I'm using a microphone, going to the audio interface, going through vocal processor, which takes care of a lot of things, and that's why my vocal will be quite clean. Because in the past, maybe a couple of years ago, when I first started doing YouTube videos, I used to use mic clip directly connected to the video camera with no audio processing in between. And I had so many people complain about the audio and noise in the background and whistling sounds and high pitch noises. So eventually I decided to scrap all of that and use a proper microphone to do my videos. I mean, after all, you know, we are in a studio and we are about music and sound. You know, people complain, but some people don't understand the fact that doing video, capturing audio for video is completely different to capturing audio for music production. But anyway, let's get started, shall we? I'll tell you a little bit what's been happening in the studio since my last live stream and my last sort of videos as well. And then I'll start taking questions. Make sure you type the questions. I will scroll back and look any questions and try to answer them for you. Well, I've been quite busy in the last 2 or 3 months now in the studio, doing lots of recording arrangements, music productions, and also been away for 3 weeks on family holiday. So I did not do anything in the studio. I closed the studio because I needed a break. I needed to spend some time with the family because I worked all day. I start work at 7 a.m. I finish about 6:30 p.m. So that's about 11, 12 hours of work. Come home, have dinner, and then in the studio, arranging music or recording music, and those sort of things. So not enough time spent with the family. So I thought I'd do that. And I'm back, and now I'm overloaded with work. There's quite a few recording happening. I had a live band here playing. I had other let's start it again. Singer-songwriters here in the studio as well. So it's keeping me quite busy. And at the same time, I'm trying to fit in some videos on YouTube describing new things that have been happening, especially with PreSonus Studio One version 4 and the Prime version as well. And then I've got, I think, Magic Acid Pro 8 that I've also done a couple of videos on, as well as the Magix Music Maker, the latest version with quite a few additions on there, trying to get information out to people who use those DAWs or those music editors so that they can see what's new in them. And I hope they are helpful. So let's got a couple of questions. It says, let's grow. Okay, let's grow. Says, sir, can you teach me how to find tempo of a song? Well, there's a couple of ways you can actually do. Depending on your DAW, if you are using PreSonus Studio One, you can actually click the tempo with the beat that you're hearing, and it will actually find the closest tempo, and then you can adjust it and then see if the beats match to the grid line. You enable grid lines and you'll be able to see, and then you can adjust it until the grid matches the tempo, and then that's your tempo. I hope that helps. There's no real other way. A lot of hardware, DJ equipment, DJ mixers will actually have tempo counters, so you can tap and they will tell you what tempo music is playing, but there's no real easy way, That's the easiest way I have found is to tap on the tempo section in Studio One, and that will give you the tempo. I hope that answers that one. Ever use MXL mics, condenser? Yes, I do. I have several of them. I use the MXL 550 and 551 series, a large condenser and small condenser microphone. I also have the MXL Genesis, which is a valve or tube microphone. I'm pretty sure I have shown it before, and that is one of my much loved microphones. So I normally have it on at least half an hour before I start singing into it, or the vocalist coming to sing into it, and that gives a really nice vocals, very warm. It's not too bright, and it captures every articulations and nuisance in your voice down to your throat, and it's really good on most occasions. Sometimes you don't want that. If you got a croaky voice, a vocalist with really croaky voice, you might probably want to avoid it because it's very, very sensitive and it'll pick up everything. But yes, I do. Let me have it quickly grab that for you. So that's my MXL, and inside it is the Genesis. Now, this microphone obviously is not cheap, but it's my flagship microphone that I use. So yes, I do, and I do love them. They're really, really great. For the price you pay, you get really good results from it. How to mix vocals in FL Studio? Well, I haven't really played much around with FL Studio. Even though I have version 20 installed on my PC, I just haven't had a chance to play around with it. So I can't really answer. But it's no different in any DAW. Compression EQ is your best friend for vocals. I normally do double compression. So I EQ the vocals to make sure it's nice and clean and bright. And if required, brightness. And next thing I do, 2 maybe or 3 gentle compressions that will actually reduce the dynamics of the vocals, and that will bring the vocal right up to the front. And basically, that's how I mix vocals. Obviously, you need to balance it with the rest of the instruments in the song arrangement. But other than that, I have several videos on vocal recording, so you can have a look at them. Oh, what happened? There we go. My chat just disappeared for a minute. Pedro says, how do you mix and master your track? By listening. That's a very general question. How do you mix and master your track? Well, I have several videos on my channel. You can watch how to mix songs, but mastering is basically just doing retouch of the final touches. It's not going to mastering does not really change the tonality of your mix. It basically just balances it so that it is matching and sounding similar to the other songs in an album, or songs which are commercially released to match them. Now, I should also mention, a lot of people say use reference tracks to mix your song and master your songs to. So you pick a song that you like, and you master your song to match the tonality and the dynamics of that song. But how do you know that that song is good? So that's another question you should always ask. So don't just reference one track, commercial released track, but try multiple of them. So you get to hear different mastered songs and find somewhere in between. But other than that, it's not a trick or secret or special combinations of buttons and things you press and presto, you've got master. Not really. You just have to use your ears and a reference track to match your song to commercially released song that is in the same genre of music that you're mixing. Hope that answers that question. Maury P says, have you ever used Band in a Box? I bought it. Really great software. No, I haven't used it. I have heard of it for sure, but I have not used it. I'm sure it's really great because, to my understanding, most of those instruments or loops and sounds are a real live play. Very similar to, I guess, Magic Music Maker, but in a bit different style of it. Any 993 or 990? I believe you're asking about MXL 993 or 990. No, I don't have those ones. I only have a couple of them. Says Teslorak. I do apologize because some of the names are so hard to say. Just use simple names, guys. I don't know why. Tassolrak 144X. I do apologize if I misspell your names. I didn't think a warm them up like a tube amp. Well, if the microphone is got a tube in it, like the one I just showed you, the MXL Genesis, you don't really have to warm it up, but I can definitely hear the difference after half an hour it's been on, because the valves will warm up and it will adjust to the room temperature and all of that. And once it stabilizes, it gives much better sound. They're supposed to be able to do that. Just like if you have valve preamps, like I have the couple of valve preamps here, microphone preamps. I let them on as well, at least half an hour or an hour before I start recording. It's very similar to valve guitar amps. You really, to get that grit and really great sound, turn them on, leave them on for about half an hour before you start playing your guitars. You will definitely hear a difference. I hope that answers that question. Parallel compression works great on Vox. Yes, it does. I don't use it that often, but depending on the vocalist and how strong they are, if you've got a really strong vocalist, then you don't tend to use I don't tend to use parallel compression, but I just tend to tame it so it's nice and clean and powerful. But if the vocalist doesn't have power in their voice, then yeah, parallel compression definitely should help. Yes. Johnny says, I do similar with vocals. Neve 1073 pre into Neve EQ into 1176 and LA2A compressors. I will assume all of those compressors are plugins, because otherwise that's a lot of expensive gear. Yes, parallel compression works great for vocals as well, John, depending. Yep. Same as what Johnny said, and that's what I said as well. Pazani Kumar says, which is better for vocal recording, condenser or dynamic mic? Depend on the vocalist. Again, both. If you have a very powerful vocalist, like metal, heavy rock, then dynamic is probably will do just as good. But condenser is more sensitive, so we'll pick up a lot more information from the vocalist. So try them out. I have recorded with SM58. I haven't tried SM57. Usually reserve that for the guitar, but I do have a couple of SM58s, which are dynamic microphones. I use them. And I do have a couple of JTS microphones, again, which are dynamic, and you can use them. But usually in a studio environment where you have nice controlled environment to record, condenser mic will pick up much more subtle differences in the vocalist, where if it's being played live, then dynamic is what you need. About a couple of months ago, I had a band here with live drums, bass guitar, electric guitar, keyboard, and a vocalist, and I recorded multi-track all at the same time as they were playing live, and I do have a video on my channel, and the microphone was SM58. And when you listen to the microphone track in my DAW, it's just vocals. You hardly hear drums, you hardly hear the bass guitar or the guitar, even though that was in the room, because dynamic microphones are less sensitive, so it didn't pick up everything. And it sounds great, you know, tiny bit of EQing, and the vocal is fantastic. So depends on the situation. You really need to learn and know your microphones. Keep practicing, record whoever and whatever. Try that microphone, try dynamic microphone, try condenser microphone, try ribbon microphone, and see, and then learn about them. And then when the time comes, you have to record, you know which one to choose. And you say to the singer, try this microphone, because in this environment, this microphone will do the best for you. And so on. Hope that answers that question. Now they're mostly real tracks rather than MIDI files. I'm trying to read some of the comments here. I can't follow it up with everything. I hope everybody's doing fine. This is live coming from my studio, Studio 9. As I mentioned earlier, if you just joined in, I haven't done live streaming for quite some time. So I thought I'll do a very quick one today before I start doing some arrangement and recording. I just came to my studio. It is about 8, what time? It's about 20 past 8 p.m. here in Australia, coming live from Sydney. Corey Park says, I ran my XLR through my PreSonus preamp, then ran 2 1/4-inch auxiliary cords to my M Audio and got a real nice crispy sound. But in my final mix, I can hear white noise at the drops and quiet parts pretty heavy. Again, you can adjust the settings. Maybe you had, I assume you're talking about the PreSonus Studio channel, which what I have and I always use on my vocals, and it's very clear. You might have your settings not correct to what you're trying to record. You might have a high compression, and you've got gain in, gained, or you might have turned the tube up far too high. If it's the same mic preamp we are talking about from PreSonus, then make sure that your tube mix or tube drive is not more than 20 or 30%. Any more, you will actually hear the tube hiss, and that's what the tube is, harmonics and noise. Yeah, so I normally have very minimal compression coming in through the tube just to catch the peaks. And then in my DAW, I might have 1 or 2 compressors at a bit higher compression than 1 to 3. Because my studio channel, the ratio I normally have 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 with slow attack and reasonably fast release to allow everything to go through, but just capture big peaks. Hope that helps. Do I need DBL male-sided XLR? I'm not quite sure what that means. If you are using the PreSonus Studio channel, then I use it as an insert, so it's coming in as line in, going out as line out. I don't use the XLR microphone input. That's probably one of the reasons as well. I don't use the XLR output because you're feeding an output back to a microphone input. You'd be better off, better dynamic range with the line output going into your M Audio. Hope that helps, Corey Park. What kind of overheads do you generally use? Do you ever use a sub kick? No, I don't use a sub kick. I've got a live kit behind there. I don't have a sub kick, but my overheads, you probably, no, you can't see it. There we go. That's an overhead right there. At the moment, it's just lowered down. They are the Superlux Pro, and I've recorded them live a couple of months ago, and they just sound really, really great. They're not the best compared to AKG or Audix or Shure, that's what I want to have down the track. But for the price that I paid for the recording that we did, the drummer was really, really happy with the result. And he could not believe that I was able to capture the drums, as it actually sounded. So he was quite happy, and I was happy as well. So those are the microphones I use. They're, I think, the Superlux. And I do have a video on my channel all about that microphone set. It's really fantastic. Johnny says, dinner time in Sydney, winter for you just now. 23 degrees here in Edinburgh, Scotland. Well, I just had dinner, so this is after dinner. But yes, it is cold. As you can see, I'm wearing really thick. I should fix my shirt. There we go. Or maybe like that, you know. And I've got my beanie on because it is cold. I mean, the studio, I've got aircon, but I haven't turned it on yet. But I probably don't need it. This is nice and warm enough. But yeah, we actually been getting in the mornings at 7 o'clock when I get up to go, when I'm at work, because I get up at 6 a.m., it's about 7-8 degrees, which is quite common for winter. And then it goes up to 18, 19 degrees during the day. So it's not that cold. It's not that hot, but it's okay. It says, thanks for the, Pazani Kumar says, thank you for explaining, sir. Nice. And how to view your music videos. I don't actually have that many music videos out because I don't do music video production. But I just purchased myself a gimbal, and I also today arrived DJI Spark drone, which I'm planning to start using it once I learn how to use the drone, start using it for video productions as well. So hopefully very soon, in about a month's time or so, once I learn how to use it, the next client that I have, it's just about finished recording the song. So she also wants video clips. Of course, it's going to be general, very basic video clip, but I'm hoping that I'll be able to use the drone to capture nice scenery in the background and try to start learning and create music videos as well, because that's becoming another thing. Because once I finish a song here, it's all recorded, you know, I can help my clients to put their songs on iTunes, Spotify, Pandora, or all of the other digital distributions, and as well as on YouTube. But I think maybe I'll have to start taking on the next step of creating music videos as well. But I have to see how much of my time will be taken to do video editing. That is something I haven't really done yet, but it'd be something that I might do once in a while if the requirement is quite simple and basic, nothing too flashy like MTV style video clips. I'll be able to do them. But at the moment, I don't have any music videos. Maury P says, who plays the Arch top guitar on the wall? Arch top guitar. I don't know. If you're talking about that one, that's my Ibanez. And I also have, that's my Ibanez bass. And that's SG5. Whoever wants to, not me. I don't play it. I'm not a guitarist. I keep saying guitar player. I'm not a guitar player. And people say, you mean guitarist. You're not a guitarist. Yes, I'm not a guitarist. Or guitar player. I don't know. Just what I'm used to. But yes. Okay. I think you mentioned you don't play much guitars. Yes. Okay. Following on, Steve Jobs says, just joined. Welcome, Steve Jobs. Hope you're doing well. Retrodome Music says, are there any more plans to test some more plugins, maybe mastering or mixing plugins? Quite honestly, I don't have many plugins. I use most of the time the stock plugins of PreSonus Studio One, and I do have some of my main few from Waves and few others, but I'm not much fan of having many plugins to choose from. So if there are any that there aren't many reviews already on YouTube, I'll be more than happy to do them. But my mastering sort of chain, plug-in chain, well, that's my secret. I can't tell you that one. You know, I gotta keep some secrets. But if there are any other plugins for mixing and whatever, I'll definitely happy to share them with you. Johnny Lipton says, "LOL, that's our average summer temps. We have just had a 2-week heat wave. Temps out to to 34 degrees centigrade. Yes, England's been having, or Europe has been having quite warm weather as well this year." Moripi says, "I'm from Melbourne. That's why I am on the beach in Thailand. Warm here." Yeah, Steve Jobs says, "Can I DJ remix in Studio One Prime?" Not sure what you mean by DJ remix. You can certainly import all the tracks. Now that Prime supports MP3 as well without any additional fee or payment, which was really stupid. Anyway, I'm sure you can drag and mix however you like. You can use a time stretch to slow down or speed up your tracks and remix, I guess. Yeah, why not? I'm just trying to go through some of the comments here. I do have quite a few Indian community on my YouTube channel as well. Lots of comments there. And the Slorak says, "I've been using Cart CM217 as overheads. They are cheap, not efficient. I was surprised. Have you tried Samsung C01 condenser? Cheap and awesome." No, I haven't. I've got microphones, enough microphones for me to record a whole band, but I don't have every microphone, and I don't intend to have every microphone. I just buy microphones depending on the job. If I need it for the job, I will buy those microphones. Otherwise, I just don't buy microphones because they're there. But yeah, I hope that answers that question. I know a lot of people ask, what do you think about this microphone? What do you think about that microphone or that microphone? Well, how many microphones do you guys think I have? I've got about 20 microphones. I think that's more than enough for my home studio to cater for everybody. If there's too cold for you, come to Germany. Yes, sure. I will visit Germany one day. I would love to come around Europe and visit Germany. It'd be fun. I've been to England a while back. We've got relatives there. I liked it there. I've been to LA again a while back. But yeah, if times allows and work allows, definitely. Thank you. Just send him some of the warm heat through the camera. Just send it. Send it. Have you ever tried to make a sub-kick mic with a speaker? No, I haven't. I have seen it. How they do it. I think Ryan from Creative Sound Labs has a really good one. Shows you how to actually make it and what results you get. I guess, yeah, you really get nice low frequencies with it, but I never had the reason to use it at this stage. Maybe in the future. Why not? Just trying to go through some of the comments again. So Steve Jobs says, long ago you created the video on Behringer Zenix 502. That helped me a lot. Well, I'm glad it did. And that video is still one of the most watched videos on my channel. Even though it's not the best audio quality, because back then, as I mentioned earlier, I was using a Tie-Clip, my very cheap Tie-Clip microphone. Well, not really cheap. It was Rode Tie-Clip microphone. I paid like $70, $80 for it, but it just didn't give the right quality. Whether I was not using the right equipment, I don't know. I don't use it anymore. but it had noise in it, and it caused problems. So I wish I actually did. Uh, but yeah, it's one of the most popular videos on my channel. Maury says, "Are you purely Windows or do you use Mac OS as well?" Well, I actually did use Mac OS about 3 years ago, but since then I have not used Mac anymore. I just on Windows 10, and everything runs quite well with Windows 10. All my audio interfaces and the drivers run well with Windows 10. My Behringer UFX 1604 runs quite well with Windows 10, so no problems there. So yeah, I still have my old Mac PC. I just don't use it anymore. Johnny Lipton says, "I made a trash mic using a 40-year-old telephone headset once for recording drums. Compressed the poop out of it and blended in with the overall drum mix. Sounded epic." I don't know. To get an old telephone, maybe in England you can find it, but I'm not sure I'd be able to, unless I go to an antique shop and pay a fortune for a old telephone. They're not available anymore. No one uses telephones anymore. Yeah. I mean, at our place, we really don't have many telephones. Yeah. And no one rings us. We do have a telephone in our house, but no one rings us because everybody just rings the mobile phone. And the only time we get to use it is when my wife wants to ring me from the house into the studio, and I've got a cordless one here, and that's the only time we use the phone. Funny. And Dong de la Cruz says, "From Philippines here, welcome. I love your channel, helps me a lot. Beautiful white guitar on the wall." Yes, that's an Ibanez one. Been asked before. That guitar is a problem, though. That guitar, it's a problem because it's hollow, and every time I need to record vocals, even worse so when I didn't have my gobos, it would vibrate and make sound. So I had to take it off the wall and put it somewhere else because those things you see right there, those things there, they're hollow. So the vocalist's voice would vibrate in it and it caused problems. But yeah, it's a beautiful guitar. Beautiful guitar. Crossbeats, how are you? He says, "Hey, Vache, hope you're well." I'm doing well, and how are you doing? You must have been quite busy as well, because I haven't seen many videos of you lately. We should get together now for our next music chat show. Yeah, I'll get in touch very, very soon. I mean, I've been away as well, so that could be it. I'm just looking some of the comments to see if there are any questions. Can talk more about guitar since I am learning it for a couple of months. Yeah, I tried to learn the guitar. I just can't get my fingers to follow my brain. It just doesn't follow it. You tell me keyboards, no problem there. I can press every key, every which way, using my 10 fingers, but I can't use my five fingers on that guitar or any guitar. It just, I guess you had to learn when you're young, and it just like riding a bicycle, you'll never forget it. But at my age, a bit hard. Tasolrak. I hope I'm spelling it right. I did a session with Jesse Cannon. He used a phone test set as a mic. Phone test set. I don't know. No, it says regular phone. Just spliced the cable into an XLR cable. It sounded awesome. Oh, okay. That's something I could try in my spare time. But yeah. Well, I hope you guys are doing well. According to YouTube, I have 8 viewers, which is great. Thanks for being here. Make sure you click the thumbs up so more people find out about it. And yeah, and let me see what new videos coming up. You might have seen in the last couple of days, I did a couple of videos on my YouTube channel. One talking about the Music Maker, the latest version, which has a couple of new features. But at the same time, I was also doing videos on Studio One Prime. The reason I do Prime because that's the free version. If you can do it in Prime, you can do it in Artist, and you can do it in Pro. There are a lot of videos out there showing how to do something in Artist, or usually mostly in professional version of Studio One version 4. So I thought I'd take on the challenge of doing things in Prime Edition, which is the free DAW, and you get to learn how to use it. And there are a lot of new things in version 4 being added that Prime users may not be aware of. Those of us who just starting to learn and don't want to spend the money to actually buy the Artist or the professional version, Prime is a good way to start to learn. And for those of us who cannot afford it, Prime is really, really great to get your music going. And I have demonstrated this even a couple of years ago. I did record, mixed, and mastered a song purely on Studio One Prime. And it's possible, and you can do it. And I even had people from US put their bit in. So I sent them the project because it was free. They were able to download, install it, and add their bit into the project. And then I did the final mixing and mastering here, all in Prime. And you can see that example on my channel. So yeah, there's a few more videos that I have planned on Studio One Prime Edition coming up very soon on my channel. Just excuse me for a minute. And yeah, there's a few other things coming up. You guys, does anybody have any further questions about recording, mixing, mastering? That's one of the things. I'm not a mastering engineer, so I won't pretend I know mastering, but I have my secret. So all of the songs here, I do master it myself. My clients are really happy, and whoever listens to it are really happy. And then I tell them that I've mixed and mastered the song. They get surprised. Oops. They get surprised. So obviously the technique that I'm using to master my songs is working, but I won't show them because I'm not a mastering engineer. So I want to keep that secret to myself. Sorry, I'm allowed to keep one secret, right? I have to. If I tell you everything, I'll tell you a lot anyway. So I want to keep that secret only because I'm not a mastering engineer. I record, I'm a recording engineer, mixing engineer, all of that, but not the mastering. But then again, as I say, mastering is just a final touch for your songs. And usually mastering, if it's a single, then you are referencing and comparing to other commercial release songs of the same genre. If it's an album, then usually trying to master the song so that all the songs sound uniform and the same level, the same dynamics, the same tonality, and so on. That's what mastering is for an album. Okay. Crossbeats Music Production. Nathan says, doing really well, really busy, mixing lots of music, and have been going crazy over analog synths. You got stuck into analog synths as well. don't tell me you purchased analog synths. They're really great fun to play around with. But yeah, I don't have analog synths, new ones. I only have few synths. This is my Roland D50, one of the Roland's flagship synths from 1970s and 80s, thereabouts. So, but yeah, I just don't get enough time to play around with analog synths. Steve Jobs says, "Don't mind, man. You are more than that." I'm not sure what that means. Thank you. Stick around for the music chat show. I'll share tips for that. Yes. Okay. Really great, because we need to come up with the next one. I will plan it, come up with the topics, and we'll discuss this later on, Nathan. Not a problem. Yes. More than mixing engineer. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the kind gesture and the comment. Dong De La Cruz says, thanks very much, Vache, for giving me an idea, particularly the Prime version. I'm happy in my recording and I'm mixing, getting better. God bless you. Thank you. Yes. As I said, Prime is a really good way to learn about Studio One without costing you a cent. And then you can always move on to the professional version. Just skip the artist. Artist is just not worth the money. Save up the money, wait for the special, maybe Christmas time or some about 2 or 3 times a year. PreSonus puts Studio One on special, and just wait for it, save your money, and buy the professional version. Because artists still has limitations that money you paid for, it just, I believe it's just not worth it. But the Prime is really great to start with. Again, being free, if you cannot afford it, you can do so much with Prime, as I have explained in over 40 videos now, just on Prime, of all the different things you can do with it. Steve Jobs says, yeah, you are more than mixing engineer. Oops, what happened? It disappeared. Okay, not a problem. Well, I'm not sure what else to talk about. No, that's okay, Steve Jobs. Well, the other thing I wanted to talk about was, excuse me, for if you, Prime is a really great example for recording your own material as well, but Magic Music Maker Free is another one that I used to use quite often, and now I actually have the premium version. It has lots of added features on there. Obviously, the free one has limitation of 8 tracks and so on, where the premium version is unlimited tracks, and then you've got VST available and so on, is to create arrangement of music. It's really, really great to get you started. You can arrange the song in Magic Music Maker, then export the stems out and into Studio One, and then you continue mix and master it, or mix it in there. So arranging in Magic Music Maker has been really, really great, because I was able to arrange a song within 2-3 hours, basically. All the basic arrangement, drums, bass, and all the other guitar parts, synth parts, and so on, all arranged in Magic Music Maker, and then exported the stems into Studio One and continued on, added my guitar playing, added other instruments in there, and then mixed and mastered it in Studio One. So that's another great option to have as well. So I have many videos about Music Maker. Yeah, so that's another, if you're trying to arrange a song and you can't come up with something, Magic Music Maker is a great way to just play around and be creative as well. So, what else we've got? What else we've got? Any more questions? Any more questions? Because I've got another 10 minutes before I end the live stream, because I need to go on and start working on my next song. I was saying your experience is more. Well, I've been doing this since 1987. So that's I assume that's quite a long time, compared to few people. But yeah, I've been doing this for a long time, and I have passed on lots of information to my YouTube channel as much as I can. I mean, I still believe that I can improve my video productions for the YouTube channel, but whether that's gonna help make the information any better, I don't know. So maybe in the future I start scripting everything rather than just hitting the record button and then start talking and recording and demonstrating the project or the software. But yeah, what do you guys think? You think I should spend extra time in making the videos look a little bit better, more presented a bit better, or the information given is enough? I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, no questions? No questions from anyone? Yeah. Let's see what else is happening here. Did I miss anybody? Did I miss anyone? No, I haven't. Yeah. It is hard sometimes to actually do live stream because of the time zones that I'm in, being in Sydney, Australia. The times that I can stream, like now, everybody else in US and is sleeping. Europe is just waking up, so no one wants to see someone like me chatting on live. But what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? Yeah. Oh well. No questions. Well, maybe I might finish off early if there are no questions. I should say thank you for everyone who was on my live stream, and I hope I answered the questions that you asked. Hopefully that was helpful. And yeah, if there are no further questions, I'll say that's about it. Thank you so much for being here, and I really do appreciate your attendance. Yeah, and thank you. I have to say goodbye now and end my stream. Of course, if this is your first time, make sure you give me the thumbs up. Or you can give me the thumbs down as well. I don't care. It doesn't make any difference to me. As long as the information I've given, whoever gave him the thumbs up or was useful, then it was useful. If it wasn't, then nothing I can do. That's all I go. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel as well. That way, any new video I upload, you get notified. Hit the bell as well, because that's another thing. Bell, and then inside the bell, there's another option whether to receive it regularly or not. Oh God, YouTube, get your act together, will ya? Anyway, I chatted long enough. Thank you guys. Have a lovely, lovely day. And as always, thanks for watching and have a great time making music.